I'd like to officially welcome all of you to another one of our paid trainings that we do every Monday and Thursday for the co-founders at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesdays, we do an opportunity meeting at the same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we also have other meetings from around the world that are also part of our paid training. So we got lots of that going on, but there's going to be a holiday break coming up, and I want to get a calendar out and take a look at that. All right, so currently it is Thursday, December 4th, and pretty much we're looking at, I think we're going to do a meeting on the 8th, and then another one on Thursday, the 11th, and then Tuesday we'll have our opportunity meeting, and that'll be that for the year for my trainings that I'm going to be participating in. Doing the training. So that'll be then for it for the 2025. And then 2027, I mean 2026, I'm skipping over a year. We'll have a paid training on the 8th of January, and that'll kind of lead up to our transition on the 15th. So there you go. So basically the weeks of from here from the 14th and all the way to the 7th. So from the 14th to the 7th, that'll be a break, and that'll be for all of our paid trainings. So the paid trainings will basically come to a conclusion at the end of this week here, more or less, and that'll be that for the month of December, and then we'll restart paid trainings on the 8th of January, just to be clear. Okay. So we just got done watching the Santa's Helper video again. Did you guys enjoy watching that again?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, love that video. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So, kids really do make Christmas really special, don't they? So, especially being able to give to kids that normally don't celebrate Christmas in that way. For a lot of kids around the world, Christmas is just another day, and they don't participate in the whole getting toys or whatever. And so, but we want to do something special this year, Paul, right, Paul? And Paul out of the UK. Where are you? But there you are. I see your Christmas toy. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was just I was I was doing a count up because we I think I don't know if Nancy has done a calculation, but we seem to have added quite a bit to it in the last few days, which is wonderful. So I was just going to try and count it all up, but
Have we reached the goal?
I might. Can you give me a minute? Can I come back to you in a minute? And I'll do. I've
Okay.
got a calculator in hand.
I can fill in the gap. But let's just say the goal has been reached, because if it's a little bit, I'll come in with a little bit and make up the difference. So the goal's been reached. But it'd be nice to know what all of you have contributed towards this. And if you want to add to it, there's nothing wrong with having a few more toys to help to give to a few more kids. There's no shortage of kids in the Philippines that won't be celebrating Christmas otherwise, with a toy. So they're easy to
I'm
find.
looking at I'm looking at the wallet address now, and we're looking at 987 USDT.
All right, well, that's, according to the wallet, then it's about what was the goal? 1,200, 1,300. What was the
1,200. Yeah, it was only
1200, I believe.
yeah because we had at the time that we opened it up, we had 120 people on the call, and we thought, well, $10 each would make 1,200, but it's a nice figure to aim for. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, we can certainly do 1,200 for the kids, right, guys? So let's just say that this is your last chance. Go ahead and put that. Let's open up the. Oh boy, we're gonna have a clash here. Uh, on the
It's
wall of
already
on the wall of
Oh,
joy. Go ahead.
I've already put it in there. So somebody, if everybody wants to like copy it for now, or even just because we've got a QR code as well, so they can copy that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can see the chat or not. Can you guys see the chat with the way it is? We haven't opened.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just grab that QR code or grab that address and send off whatever you can. $1, $10, $100, whatever you can do, go for it. This is probably the last chance to contribute to it officially. And I'm going to be hiring a videographer to, come in and, document the whole thing. So good job. Great project. It was Paul's idea to do it this time. And so he's been spearheading it since it was his idea. And the only thing I'm kind of sad about is that I kind of wish Paul would be in the Philippines when that all happens, to experience that, firsthand, what that's like. It's just very special. Who knows? It might happen. Maybe Paul will be there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But there's going to be plenty of us representing for sure. So, all right. And collecting reports. Let's get a report from Maria Davidson. She just had a chance to spend time with me for about a week. You can just report to everyone how the holiday went for you. What it was like to have me as a guest in your home, Maria.
I think we had a lot of fun. I'm sorry that's very dark in here. My office is dark. Yeah, that was like a little bit more than a week, huh?
Yeah, like about
Yeah.
8 days.
I know, that was awesome. That was awesome, awesome, awesome. That's so incredible to spend time with you. One of my kids come over and I was telling them that who you are, and they were so intimidated. They were afraid to talk to him. What do you mean? You're owner of the company? What? And she's not that young, so she just couldn't understand what you're doing in my house.
Yeah,
But other than that, I hope you had a good time. I hope you
did.
had plenty to eat.
There was no
And
shortage of food in your home for sure.
no shortage of phone, but
And,
that's,
and we went out a couple of times too. So
I know, yeah, that's very, very special. That's for sure. I mean, Ace is just incredible, and he's very easy to get along with. So he's not complaining much. He's just as long he's not hungry, he's okay, and he's not cold, he's okay.
yeah, notice what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I know, I can see that. Yeah. So that was just incredible, just absolutely unbelievable how you are and how good you are with people. My husband enjoyed talking to you too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Scott. Scott's an amazing guy.
Yeah,
You got a good
yeah.
one there, Maria, but hang on to him, so
I know, huh? I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, trust me.
yeah, wonderful,
But
wonderful family. And our little favorite there is Hannah Banana. So
Hannah Banana, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right color.
Yeah, I hope you were comfortable here.
Yeah, it was very comfortable, and you gave me a private room and all that, and it was great. And yeah,
Hmm.
I'm one of those guys that likes water, so I was able to take a bath there, which I can't do here. The bathtub doesn't work where I'm at right now, but
Yeah, you didn't have the largest bathtub in the house, but because I have the largest bathtub in the
it
house.
was big enough for the big guy. So
Big enough, the water didn't come out.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I love,
so
if it's not a swimming pool, then it's a bathtub, for me,
I know. Water is good, that's good for you.
Yeah.
I love to sit in hot water, love too much. Yeah, so that's the other, it was a little bit more than a week, and I was just hoping you're not gonna get bored or something, that
No
be
problem with
here,
that.
but
I'm self-entertained. Yeah. So
yeah, you know how to entertain yourself.
yeah.
You're not bored at all, right?
Never bored. Never
Never
bored.
bored. I'm never
Hopefully
bored
never
either.
boring,
Never boring either. Yeah. Yeah, but that's extremely special. So whoever you're gonna visit next time, they're gonna be lucky people.
Yeah. I mean,
They
it's not
get to
always
know
going to
you.
be in someone's home. Sometimes I'll just be in a hotel and, and visit that way. But I do want to get out there and meet all the wells, and you're one of the larger
Yeah.
ones, Maria, and we appreciate you. So,
But I just happened to have an extra room with the extra, shower and stuff like that. So that worked, right?
and it worked out perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's
Well,
all good,
there you
all
go.
good.
So it's just like family, guys. I told you in our last video, this is like family, So, we're doing business, but we're different in the fact that the environment's more of a family kind of a thing.
Mm.
So we're all
You met
family.
four of my kids. You met four of my kids out of five. You met four of them.
I met most of them, and they're all great in their own way.
I know.
They all shine
Everybody.
with their own way, and
I know.
yeah,
Mm,
good kids.
I know. I'm
Uh,
very lucky person. Very, very lucky. You know.
Yes, you say lucky, but I just say you're blessed. Luck means you don't deserve it. Blessed means that you do, and you certainly
Oh,
deserve.
okay.
You deserve the blessing for sure.
I know. Yeah, yeah. So we're still talking about you. So
All right. So we got Paul. He's got his hand up with an explosion. What's the explosion all about?
Yeah, we've got Jeannie on the call, Jeannie Kohut. Okay, I never pronounce that. And she is exploding a great little team. So
Oh, good.
we've got Kirsten on the call, which is one of her referrals. We've got Chris on the call, who's one of Kirsten's referrals. And we've who else we've got? We've got a couple of other people
I love it.
growing in that team as well. So Jeannie's doing a great job, Kirsten's doing a great job. And yeah, we're excited.
Well, do you mind if I show you off a little bit, Paul? Did you get the numbers together, by the way, that was it what Hunter said? We're about
Yeah,
200 short of the goal.
I could bring it up on screen, but yeah, it was what Hunter said. Yeah, it was
Okay.
his
Yeah, it's
score.
right there in the blockchain for all of us to see, So, yeah, while we're on the call here, if you feel inspired to go to the, you open your wallet and send off some, that'd be great if we could hit the goal before then. But I'll make sure that tomorrow there'll be at least 1,200, hopefully more, at least 1,200 in there for the kids, and we can go shopping now before all the good toys go away. So, but let me share my screen. This is kind of this is to highlight Paul and his team here. Okay, so let me go to explore, and then we go to genealogy. And I believe you're below Erica Russo. And I believe you're below Gregory.
Below Greg, yeah, directly below
And
Greg.
then you're right here. So look at your team. This is Paul's team, and it only shows three people, three levels below, but you can see the numbers, underneath the pictures. For example, Alan here, who is the father of Lindsay, they're in Australia. He's got 52 people on his team, right? And then you've got Prosper here with 3. And you've got Bookham 79, 71. All right. So a lot of that explosion you're talking about is happening on this team here.
That's Sherry. Yeah, that's a huge shout out to Sherry there. She's the mainstay of that team.
And we got Mark out of Idaho, So he's got his little team going there. And there you are, Paul, the center of the action, 172 people on your team. Consider that, out of like, the 1,000 people basically that make up who we are right now. And then we got Scott out of Thailand, okay, and you got some good things going on there. And then you've got Ginny, okay, appreciate Ginny, and we got Jay Patel, and she's out of India, if I'm not mistaken. And we've got the Visionary Crypto Clan, okay, with 6. Kathy with 3. Super Sure Profit 6. And you got some onesies here. But, guys, can you see that Paul personally has done a great effort just himself. Look at all these people that Paul's brought in, right?
Well done, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paul's a builder, okay? And you know, anybody can be a builder. You just have, first of all, have to have the desire to be one. And once you have the desire, then you just put the effort out, and day by day you get better at it. Paul, did it come naturally to you, or did you have to work at it?
No, it was sort of naturally, but no, I certainly had to work at it because I had to evolve with it. And of course, it's been such a fun experience. And I was just saying to one or two people today that I've learned more in teaching people, because when people ask questions, it really makes you think about it, and it actually connects a lot of the dots when you're trying to explain it to other people. So I learn just as much from those people who I'm training as I do from from any knowledge I might have myself. And actually it's really exciting because we've now got success Pool Funding Success Team, which is a little training group I've set up, and a few people have joined that. So we're gonna plow ahead with that as well. So the explosion is going to get bigger, I think.
And Paul's even offered to the general community to train you as well on things that are working for him. So obviously it's working, so, and I hope a lot of you do take advantage of that. So even if you pay a little bit for it, I don't know if he's even charging for that, but I would, I'd be charging for it. But he's put that offer to the whole community, that if you want to learn from Paul, how to do this team building thing, I mean, pool funding's a great opportunity, right, Paul, to build a team.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And my vision for you, Paul, is someday you're going to look down below your picture and there's going to be a 7-figure number there. It's going to be over 1 million people on your team.
Wow.
Think about that.
That would be something. Yeah.
So you'd be like the big grandfather of this whole team at some point. So that's what the potential is here. It's huge. So, all right, there you go. Now, on to the topic today, what we're going to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about the 2-tiered system that is going to be rolling out in early January or mid-January, because we'll have our new coins that are coming out. I just noticed that my battery is my battery is low, so I need to plug it in. Give me a second. Got this thing tethered to electricity. All right, now we're charging, so don't want to be in the meeting soon. All right, so now you are part of a paid training today. So if you haven't already, probably not. We haven't even opened the chat. So let's open the chat for the general people. And if if you're qualified for paid training, put your wallet address into the chat. We'll make sure to get you paid for the paid training. Okay. All right, so the addresses are rolling out. All right, so today we're going to be talking about a 2-tiered system, okay? But the tiers were already there if you really were paying close attention from the beginning. We've had the co-founders always kind of like, the top, basically the top of this, what we're doing, 10,000 co-founders, right? But co-founder is not something you just join and you get the title. You have to achieve it. There's achievement involved. So let me share that with you. So technically, we'll earmark you all as co-founders today, since, we're less than 10,000 anyway. But if you go to the account page, you have training videos here that are very important. You should definitely watch in all of the videos here, okay? Especially this one about commitment, okay? And the co-founder video there. This video here explains what it takes to actually be a co-founder. It takes about a year to make it happen. The year has not started for any of us. So the co-founder year has not begun for, not even me, not even any of us, because we have to be at our target pricing. And we haven't achieved that. $500,000 for PFI, 1 million for PFB, 2 million for PFS, and 4 million for PFG. So since we didn't achieve the price targets, then Co-Founder hasn't begun. Okay, but it will begin when we transition from the old coins to the new coins, because the new coins are going to be starting pricing on the market will be those pricing. So that's when Co-Founder will begin, and you have about a year to achieve that. And it's all explained in the video. Now, in addition to co-founders, the next layer down is the partners. So we're looking at having 1 million partners. So 10,000 co-founders, 1 million partners. The partners are going to get 5x. Okay, so co-founders get 10x and partners get 5x. Okay. But the biggest difference is how many coins you can acquire before the prices are high. So obviously the co-founders are the ones going to get the biggest scoop out of the stockpile of coins that we have. They're going to get the largest scoop because they got in early. They got in when the prices were low. They got in and they're getting a 10x bonus, which is twice as good as 5x. But relatively speaking, it's 10x on the coins that you have. And you're just going to be able to get more coins as a co-founder than you will as a partner. But still, 5x on any number is a great thing for the partners. And then after that, you could say that the layer below that would be the members. Okay. So just to kind of share the structure with what we're building here to you. So two-tier system is based on behavior. You see, we're looking for people that will cooperate. And those that do cooperate, they'll be in the higher tier. The people that don't cooperate, they can still be members. They won't be co-founders, and they won't be partners. They lose that. Those that can't cooperate don't deserve those bonuses, those benefits, those entitlements. They lack the cooperation to get them. So, but they can be members and they can still participate and enjoy a lot of the things that all members will enjoy, as we get bigger, stronger, and roll out more things. So, members can be, in the high level as well. Okay. So in the two-tiered system, we can have not only co-founders and partners, but there can be members in the upper tier, okay? Because it's based on behavior, cooperation. The people in the lower tier are the ones that they don't cooperate, and they're gonna see what it's like to be part of a group of people working together where there's a lack of cooperation, okay? So I think it's going to be much easier for everybody in the higher tier where there's full cooperation. That's what I think is going to happen. So you call it an experiment, if you will, but it's going to be a two-tiered system, and we're going to have two sets of coins. We got the new coins, we got the old coins, and so everybody's going to get theirs, and it's going to be according to that. Now realize that if you are part of the upper tier and then you fail to continue to cooperate, then you'll drop down to the lower tier. And what that means is a lot of differences will, I guess I want to make this very plain and simple to understand. In the upper tier, when you make your payments, like you do $1, you do $10, you do $100, you're getting $1, $10, and $100 at the market value at that level. That's what you're getting. Now that's all based on the 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 4 million pricing. Okay. But even on the lower tier, it's still based on that, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 4 million pricing. That's what you get, but that's not necessarily going to be the market value of the coin. So there could be a huge gap between when you make your payments on the lower tier and actually what you accumulate in coin. You put $1 in, you may not actually be getting $1 based on the market value. Okay, because The starting point for both tiers is the 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, and 4 million. But hey, we've got a $300 PFI coin that should be $500,000. See the gap there? That's a large gap, right? But when you make your payment on the lower tier, you're making your payment to receive $1 worth at the $500,000 price. So if you take, $1 of a $500,000 coin, and that's the amount of coin you get. But in the market, if the market is only $300 for it, you're probably not even getting not even getting 1 cent. It's probably less than 1 cent. Okay. So there you go. That's going to create either an incentive depending on the point of view, right? You could have the point of view, you can see that as an incentive, or you can see that as like a punishment. I guess you could look at it both ways. Okay. So it's either it will incentivize that team to get their stuff together at the lower tier and at least climb up to those levels where it needs to be in a group of people that don't necessarily cooperate. Okay. Or not. So that's how that will work ongoing. Am I being very clear and transparent about that?
Yes.
How many of you want to be on the lower tier?
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Maybe you can trade and maybe be okay for you to trade, you sell the coin or whatever. But the cost of being on the lower tier where you could do that is that you're really not cooperating when you sell. We still are asking for your cooperation, but I mean, at some point, we're just going to say you're with your own kind, okay? Like with like, people that cooperate are with people that cooperate. People that don't cooperate are with people that don't cooperate. Like with like. Which group do you want to be in? With people that cooperate or with people that don't cooperate? Which group do you want to be in? It's a behavioral choice each of us have to make personally. And there's going to be some people that are going to make that decision on January 15th when they choose not to join us in the transition. And we'll leave them behind in the lower tier. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that pretty clear? Yeah. I don't know about you, but I want to cooperate. Cooperation is going to get the big win. Okay. And yes, we got to be patient. Sometimes we have needs. We have a need right now, and we see that money sitting in our wallet. Like, I want to spend it, take care of the need, but that would be breaking our commitment and violating our agreement with the community. And then, that's basically putting our own personal needs ahead of the community and what we're out to do as a community. And the penalty is that you're going to drop to the lower tier. Can you come back up to the higher tier? Probably not. So there's always potential, right? But probably not. Because, we're looking for a certain kind of people. We're looking for 10,000 stellar co-founders. We're looking for 1 million brilliant partners. And we want that kind of leadership, people that we can trust, that they don't put their own personal needs, or they're not self-serving. They don't put their own personal interest ahead of a community that they're building. They recognize that we're in it together and we're here to win together, right? Because we're in it to win it. So, the more we cooperate, the better off that we are going to get that. But it's going to be patience. It's going to take more than a year to really start looking at things. By the time that happens, we'll have positioned at least for the upper coins, the new coins that are coming out, those will be positioned to be offered in other platforms where you could borrow against them. Okay, at least one. Okay, so let me just show you Aave, for example. I mean, obviously, I talk about Aave. Obviously, that's what I want. I want our coins on the Aave platform. Okay, where you can borrow against them. And Aave has done spectacular. They've done amazing, amazing things already. Okay. They have paid out over 1 billion already in, I guess you could call that loans, right? They've done $1 billion worth of loans already. This is a pretty new thing. They've had a total cumulative of $3.2 trillion in deposits. And then the originated loan volume, 919 billion. Okay. Wow. Well, I think this is what the lenders have collected. So the lenders have collected $1 billion. The borrowers have borrowed 919 billion. Okay. And the deposits to make it all work, 3.2 trillion. Okay. Those are great numbers. Okay. So when I say you can go get a $500,000 loan with your Bitcoin over here, it's true. You're going to fork out $1 million to get it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna use that as collateral. But yeah, you can, so, and obviously they're gonna have a lot of different more products and stuff like that, so. But yeah, this is another platform. So this is what inspired us to create our micro version of this, which is, pool micro lending. Okay. Which, look at this leader pool. That's very manageable leader pool. Wouldn't you guys agree? Very manageable leader pool. I'm not meant leader, but lender pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It used to be like 4,000 people in here. Not anymore, right? Or loans. So yeah. So this is our version of it. And this is just to give you a taste of what is to come. And this, my friends, a year from now is what is to come. And we want the new coins to be qualified to be a part of this network so that we can, if you want to take, if you're sitting on $30 million and you need to, you got a business opportunity where you need to put a, $250,000 into it, maybe you put $500,000 of coin as collateral to get, $250,000, to take advantage of a business opportunity or to create a business, or something like that. Something that's going to have gains so that you can pay the loan back, that kind of thing. All right. So that's the future. That's where we're at. And that's how we're going to get there. Hope that's clear. Okay. And Paul, you got your hand back up. Go ahead. You're
Just
muted.
a question there. If you go back to the Aave screen, if you can, because I noticed that the interest was 9 billion against 919 billion.
No, it wasn't interest. It was, I think that's how much has been borrowed so far,
Yeah, no, but there's also a figure of interest, which is 9 million, I think. I'm sorry, 1 billion. So that's kind of 1%. And so I just wanted to ask, is that all that the interest?
No, I think you're looking at it backwards. I think what you're looking at, this is what the lenders, because you can be a lender on their website, right? You can go in there
Right.
and you can lend your USDT coin that you have to someone who wants to borrow against their Bitcoin, right?
Right.
But they've been paid. The amount of interest paid to the lenders so far has been $1 billion since they started their coin here, the website or whatever you want to call this project,
Right. Okay, so it's not Aave themselves putting up that money for people to borrow. It's lenders.
It's lenders within the system. Aave created the
Yeah.
system, and just like
Right.
we created the micro version of it, we can have anybody come in here and be a lender, right? Same thing is true here.
Yep. Got it.
So it's not Aave, a company, giving out the money. It's a network, right?
Yeah.
Connected through the coin, the Aave coin.
Thank you.
So yeah, in order to participate, you have to have I think you have to have some Aave to participate, I don't know all the specifics, I haven't done a deep dive on Aave. I just know just enough to let you know, yes, here's proof. You can borrow against CryptoCoin. This is proof. Okay. It's not
I
a
bet Hunter would know the ins and outs, but I expect it's a bit like BNB, whereby you use Aave for the transactions, and so that's how they make their money, I guess.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows? I
true.
don't know. Hunter probably knows.
Yeah, it's most likely like that. Go ahead, Hunter. You want to add to that? You got your hand up.
Oh, honestly, I haven't done too much of a deep dive into Aave either, but the thing I want to say was, folks, how many of you were even just a little bit stunned at seeing Stuart? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes, I
oh,
was.
Definitely.
let me just point out to you, each and every one of you right here and right now, that we're just getting started. This is just the beginning. Welcome to Decentralized Finance.
That's it. And on that note, let me put another point to what we're doing here. That we want pool funding to ultimately become known as the platform people go to launch their humanitarian, their altruistic, or even over on the solopreneur, ideas. So everybody's got ideas, right? I mean, some people are keen to help the homeless. Others want to, help end hunger, poverty. Others, they want to build flying cars, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But everybody's got their way to contribute to humanity. And it might be only an idea right now in somebody's head, but they need money in order to do that. So they need to finance that. And how about our platform, Pool Funding becomes that platform that people come to, that like that's a place where I've got the tools and resources and an existing network of like-minded people to put my idea out there. So I want to end hunger, and here's how I plan to do it. Can I get some support? Or someone comes in, here's how my plan, or you could start with just putting a plan in front of a network of people, and then raise money, right? And then obviously through our daily contributions, that's how you do it, right? So you go out there and say, hey, I just need, for what I want to do, I want to get, 20 people to send me $1,000 every day. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to get $1,000 worth of coin, but they're contributing towards their plan to make humanity better. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so you see the vision getting more clear, that the platform itself is a place that people will go because like it becomes known as that place. That's where you go if you want to take your humanitarian idea and get it financed and get it off the ground. Go there.
And it's also the way you transfer your assets when you die, right? I mean,
Well,
the coins don't go down. You always had the asset.
yeah, coins are an asset. Yeah, we can agree on that. And basically, I think the best way to see coins is you are the steward over them. That way, you avoid a lot of the taxation questions that come up. Because as long as you're looking at like you own it, if you own the coin, you're putting yourself in a position you're going to pay a lot of taxes on that coin, okay? Because you're going to do things accordingly. And people that are selling, they're exposing themselves right now to that, okay? So anybody that's prematurely selling right now, they probably have tax consequences they're not even aware of, depending on what country they're in, And so, it's better not to play that role as the owner of the coins, although there's room for those people that choose that option. You want to be an owner? Fine. But you got to bear the consequences that come with that, that positioning, right? So only people that are only self-interested, I think they're gonna be missing out big time on what they could have had if they would just change their mind to look at it like see it as a stewardship, and that they're part of a network that will help their stewardship achieve great things, whatever
Kind of
that
like the spirit over the IULs that are running rampant across my feed about having IUL being the steward of it. The insurance policies so that you can structure in.
Yeah.
Right.
And so all the things that you see out there in the world that can kind of dovetail into what we're doing, it just it'll find its place. But conceptually, what we're trying to do is elevate people. We're trying to take people wherever they're at and bring them to the level they want to be. Okay. They're here. They want to go here. By the time they get here, they might want to go here. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is to empower the individual in mass so that they can go where they want to go and live the life that they want to live, not necessarily by owning a bunch of assets, but maybe because they have the power and control over a great deal of assets through as a stewardship. And this is how the wealthy people think, by the way. Wealthy people don't like to look at themselves as the owner of something because they know the liability that comes from that title is huge. Okay. So yeah.
It's all come together, Ace.
Yeah.
It's
Even
all-
like even you talk to rich people, they don't even own their dogs. They don't. No, they've got an LLC or they got something that's the owner of the dog. So if you want to sue the LLC, be my guest, it's broke. There's no money over there in that
Right.
LLC. Right. But that's what rich people
Yeah,
do to
they're
protect
dogs.
themselves. They're not the dog owner, you know. They're the dog handler, you know what I'm saying? So that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
The dog bites somebody, you can't sue that guy who's rich. You got to sue the LLC who owns the dog, you know.
Right.
Stuff
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
Stuff you don't know. A lot of people don't know that. Have you ever thought about that, guys? You know? And that so many people are at a disadvantage because what they don't know. Well, what if we create a platform where we inform people stuff that they wouldn't otherwise know? What if we just broke it open and said, let's let all the rich people secrets out? We don't need any secrets. Do we need secrets? If there's a way to get rich, why not let everybody know about it? Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So just remember that, guys. And so that's where we're heading. And it's just because I'm just sick and tired of a system that's corrupt, financially, the financial system being corrupted to the core, to the point where you can't trust anything. You can't trust your bank, you can't trust the government, you can't even trust your doctor, for goodness sake, because they're all part of a massive cover up and corruption. Are you guys tired of that? I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So, that's what we're all about. And so a lot of you guys are going to have your little thing. You're going to have that little passion, and you're going to bring that passion into pool funding, and you'll find there'll be other people just like you that are also interested in that and will help you achieve the things you'd like to achieve. I know I've talked to many of you, and you've shared with me how your humanitarian ideas and your humanitarian desires, like, this is how I'd like to see the world be better. If this would change and make it like that, like this, the world would be so much better. And it's got to start somewhere. It starts usually with one person with an idea. And if that person with an idea gets enough support, hey, anything can happen. You can change the world. And that's what we're all here to do, I think. I think we're all here in our own way, change the world. And some, if we do comparisons, might be small ideas, while others are going to be gigantic, And at the end of the day, the only person that you're really in a race with is yourself. The one person you've got to satisfy at the end of it all is you. You have to make you happy. You have to make you satisfied. And this whole idea that we get to blame everybody else for why we're not happy or why we're not satisfied, that's an old idea that needs to be thrown in the trash can. Like, forget about it. Because you have the power. We have the tech. We have the people. There's plenty of money floating around. There's no shortage of money. Okay? There's no shortage of it. It's just a matter of, being able to position yourself to be in the receiving side of it. Okay? That's it. And that's what pool funding is to teach you principles and ideas and systems to put you on the receiving side so that you can then be a giver, right? It's easier to give when you got something to give, right? Because I know we all got a little bit of time. We can give time. We can give our ideas, but we're about elevating people. Maybe now you can only afford to give $10, right? Maybe with the kids and the Christmas, right? But hey, a year from now, you might be able to do $1,000, $10,000. Your ability to contribute should increase as you get, in this giant cooperation that we're doing here together. Okay, especially in that top tier. So we're a two-tiered system. The top tier is all about cooperation. The bottom tier is a lack of cooperation, and we still forge ahead regardless. It's no different than the world. We're in a world, by the way, of the people that don't cooperate with each other, and somehow, some way, we all still make it, right? So it still works. It's just harder. Cooperation makes it easy. Lack of it makes it harder. And that's why we're going to reflect that in moving forward as of January next year. Will be a two-tiered system, clearly. And those that cooperate will win big. Okay? And I hope
Along with
all of your
collaborate.
dreams come true. Go ahead, Jeffrey. What's that?
Collaborate also. We
What's
have to be
that?
part of the collaboration. I want to be in the first tier. I want to collaborate and be cooperative enough and look at the whole instead of the individual to stay in the top tier.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not talking about a top tier of sacrificial lambs. It's just the opposite of that. We're looking for a top tier of intelligent people that understand with a little timing and patience and with the effort that things blossom and bloom and then you harvest. You know what I'm saying? There's always a harvest, right? Whereas the sacrificial lamb, they never expect any kind of a harvest. Okay? So there's going to be plenty of harvesting in the top tier. I want that to be very clear. Okay? All right. So I think I said it all today. What do you guys think? Did I cover things that you need to know about the two-tiered system? Good to know. Yeah.
Yep.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, it seems like you covered it very well.
I appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah.
Coming from you, that's a high compliment. So
Yeah. And you know what? I think all of us have within us the ability to do this and do it well. We have to get our mind straight and figure out and know why we do it every day.
That's right. Yeah.
Got to have that purpose. Yeah.
Let me tell you something else, Joe. A lot of people, what's holding them back is their own set of fears that keep them in a downward spiral where they're only thinking about themselves all the time because they're literally creating the reality that keeps them down because all they can think about is what's missing and what they're missing out on, and they lack the gratitude for what they already have. And they just keep and that's that poverty spiral. You know what I'm talking about, right, Joe?
Yeah, definitely. That is that's a mindset that keeps you trapped because you can't get out of it.
You consume yourself.
Yeah, it's detrimental. Absolutely.
Right.
So the way there are many ways to begin to change that. And if you want things to change for yourself, Jim Rohn would say that all the time. If you want things to change, you've got to change. So what do? You just start implementing first thing you do when you wake up. You don't look at your phone. You don't go to a tablet or your computer. You take a few minutes for yourself. And what I'd like to do is just be naming all the things I'm grateful for. Everything in my life that I'm so blessed to have, people and, a home that's nice and warm, especially on a cold day like today. All these little things, they don't have to be big. I mean, look at all those kids in the Philippines and look at, how they're living, but you see all the smiles on their faces. They've learned to adapt to it, and they have fun, whenever they can, get together and the kids, boy, they're just beautiful children. Yeah. So You know, the thing to do is just wrap your mind around the fact that we are creators. We are in control, even though it looks like everything on the outside is falling apart. You can still, what we need to do in this time is to solidify who you feel, who you are on the inside, and be the best version of yourself and spread that around. You don't have to go out professing just your sheer the way that you are and you treat people. That is what other people are waiting to see and waiting to feel. And so it's not a big thing. It's very simple and basic. But I think all of us have it within us, and we can knock out all the negative by simply replacing it. It's not really affirmations, it's how we feel. So how we feel is the key. And if you're always feeling like you're behind the 8 ball, that's where you will be. If you're feeling blessed and you want to share that, then you're going to start blessing other people just from your attitude and your energy. So it's very important.
The universe rewards gratefulness. And if you're always down on yourself and you're always, oh, pity me, the universe is going to keep giving you pity me.
Yeah.
But if you do it the opposite, then I think things expand and we find things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So we all have it
like
within
the
us.
word you used earlier, Joe, the word replace. I like that word a lot.
Yeah.
Because when we replace something that's not quite the way it should be with something better, that's a good thing. So
Yeah.
let me do a little exercise with everybody just on the way out of this, okay? So I want everybody to accept an idea that I'm going to share with you right now. I want you just to accept it. I want all of you to accept the idea that everybody hearing my voice right now, when you go into the future just a little bit, you're a millionaire. Okay? I want you to accept that idea right now. Okay? So now that we have
Absolutely.
everybody accepting that, now I want everybody to unmute, and I want you to say it. I feel like a millionaire. Okay? Say it. I feel like a millionaire.
A millionaire.
Millionaire.
Feel like a millionaire.
Feel like a millionaire.
I
Okay.
feel like a
I am a
millionaire.
millionaire.
Now,
A millionaire.
now take a moment. Now take a moment after you've said that.
I feel like a millionaire.
Have you not replaced something just now?
I feel like a millionaire.
It feels great, don't it? All right. Do that.
And a
I feel
millionaire.
like a millionaire.
Can we do a countdown one?
I love it.
But
Anyway, Joe.
it shifts how you think.
Yeah.
Just that brief moment, it shifts how you think.
I feel like a millionaire.
Yeah.
I suddenly felt
I
like
want to be a millionaire.
You have to accept the future as something that you're writing. Okay? You have to look at the future as something that you're in charge of. Okay? Is the moment you
not
do
dependent on
that.
somebody else.
What's that?
Not depending on somebody else. This is self.
It doesn't depend on anyone but you. Because
Right.
ultimately, if you only knew what you are, you would know what I'm saying is 100% true all the time. Okay? It's the fact
That's
that
right.
people haven't figured out what they are. They haven't realized that since the future hasn't been written and the only one that's going to write it is you, then it depends on really if you're lazy or not. If you're a lazy writer, you're going to get sloppy future. You know what I'm saying? So why not write a future that you're happy about?
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay, got a little repeat there. So there you go, guys. So yes, accept the idea you're a millionaire because it's already happened in the future. It's in the near term. And then just, live in that moment. That's why I go to the future so often, because I live there. I live in those feelings. I live, hey, I got plenty of past memories that are wonderful, believe me. because I've got plenty of millionaire experiences. I can tell you all about them. But I also go in the future and I have even better experiences than the ones I've already had. And that's replacing it, making it better, There you go. We are
And I
going
have
to
a
be a
question.
two-tiered system. Come ahead. What?
When you dream, is it in the future? A lot of mine are in the past. Am I doing something wrong?
What do you mean when you fall
When you
asleep
dream,
when you fall asleep at night?
yes.
What kind of dream are you talking about?
Well, past experiences, stuff that you might need to change, and things that you can't do anything about, but you dream about it.
Yeah, most of my dreams, I have to be frank, most are in the present, So I have dreams about every weird thing you can imagine. I've dreamt it, but they're usually in the present tense in some different, form of reality. A little shift. Sometimes there's people that I recognize in my dreams when I sleep at night. But no, I don't really. They're not really projections into the future. Although I will say I have had some visions of the future, but I haven't, though not very often. But but I,
Probably
I can,
you live in the future.
but I spend time in the future because it's like an acceptance, right? It's like, okay, I'm the one writing the script, and I'm the one, the outcome is up to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
hope that clears it up for you, Jeffrey. Hey,
The
Paul.
author and finisher of our faith.
Yeah, got your hand back up, Paul.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think many of us we all have a past, of course, but no matter what past we've had, it's been and gone, and today is the first day of the rest of our lives. That's a cliche, but it's a truth, isn't it? Because it's how we see today and tomorrow that's far more important than anything that happened in the past. We don't have to be defined by our past. We can be defined by our future.
Beautiful. Yeah.
The thing is that we're all connected to something divine. So let me break that word down for you. Divine. Okay. I believe the divine is, the same as the all. Okay. So when I say divine, I'm also saying all. Now, when I say all, I'm talking about every universe, every multiverse, every moment of every in past, present, and future in time. I'm talking about the whole ball of wax. Like it's a giant field of probability, possibilities, and experience. Some that have already transpired in some format that you might call real. Others that are projections of what could be and are experiments will roll out. But that's all part of the all, right? That's the all and the divine. Inside of us is that, okay? And we're an individual point of view inside of it, so we're a focal point, okay? And we're writing a story, right? If you go deep into the philosophy I'm talking about, it's the story that we're all writing. We all came here to write the same story. It's called The Hero's Journey. Okay, you can go to Google that. Okay, all of us are the hero of our story. Okay, even the one who gets cancer, they're the hero of someone that that went through cancer. Believe it or not, the experience of having something that devastating, and then and being able to express what it was like to go through that. It's just it's not necessarily the hero story you might think. Some people think you have to have a perfect life, everything's perfect, and then you win. No, sometimes the things that you might say are bad, they actually end up being a very profound experience that you can only know if you experience it. You know what I'm saying? You can only know through experiences. So some of us have chosen to take these hero journeys that are like include cancer, or I'm just using that as an example, right? But you could think of a million things, murder, whatever, there's a million different possibilities. But I like to think of myself like I chose the millionaire card, and I wanted the hero's journey of being the millionaire, right? And and I'm kind of living up into that. So each of us has our own journey. So never discount the challenges and difficulties of your life, because you were probably, a previous version of you were probably one placing that in there in the first place. You may not be completely aware of it, but you did that. Your soul did that because you're out to gain some kind of profound experience or knowledge, whatever you want to call that. But it's all part of the divine, and we're all divine on the center. We're all divine, and we can always change our mind. Sometimes we get in the middle of a story and we go, maybe I don't like this cancer story so much. I'm not going to die of cancer. I'm going to triumph over it. See, maybe that's the story you end up writing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be different for everybody. But the more you believe in yourself, the more power you have to reach what I would call a positive outcome, a desirable outcome, right? So, and again, the only person that can really define what is desirable is you. You're going to make that definition for you. So the rest of us can judge it, but that's meaningless. The only person that matters is how you judge it. Okay, that's what matters. Okay, because you're in a race with you. That's the only race you're in. You are in a race with you, and we're giving you a platform here in Pool Funding, two-tiered system with an offer to be around people who cooperate. How about that? That's a win. Okay, that's a win. It's a jewel in this world. Okay, so the more of us that can get in that top tier, the better. Yeah, I pictured 10,000 and 1 million. And then beyond that, I'm hoping for even bigger numbers. Okay, but I know there's going to be 10,000, and I know there's going to be 1 million. Okay, in that level of cooperation, it will happen. It will. You can be part of it, and many of you already are. And thank you for that. All right. So that's being said, I think we're clear on our two-tiered system, and that's what we have to look forward to. And it's about to happen so soon. The holidays are upon us. We're winding down the paid trainings, and then we'll restart them in early January. That's the plan. I hope everybody's happy with the plan, because that's it. All right.
Thank you, Ace.
You're welcome. Who is that? Familiar voice.
Shelley.
Shelley, there. Okay, yeah, you're welcome, Shelley. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, so we can all unmute and say, I love the plan. How about that?
I love the plan.
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 Bye-bye, everybody.